Have you ever felt like your entire life was standing on the edge of something huge, yet somehow everything around you seems to be falling apart? What if the frustration you're feeling right now isn't a setback, but the final challenge before your greatest breakthrough? Most people give up right before everything changes, but what if you are closer than you think? Welcome to Stoic Bridge, the bridge between ancient wisdom and modern life, guiding you through life's storms with calm and resilience. Today, we're diving into a moment that many overlook, but few truly understand: the quiet storm before a transformation. What if I told you that your biggest breakthrough is not years away, but just a few steps beyond the discomfort you're feeling right now? That the chaos, the setbacks, even the emotional exhaustion you've been battling are not signs that you're failing, but signs that you're being tested. A final test before everything begins to shift in your favor. You see, most people walk away right when they're closest to the finish line. Why? Because they mistake pressure for failure. They see pain as punishment and setbacks as signs to quit. But if you've been noticing strange shifts in your life, if you've felt a deep inner tension recently, then this message is for you. Because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly whether the signs you've been seeing are pointing you towards something extraordinary. But before we begin, if you're ready to stop doubting yourself and finally unlock your full potential, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on powerful, life-shifting wisdom like this. Now take a deep breath, because what you're about to discover might just change the way you see the storm you're walking through. 1. Everything feels like it's falling apart. Sometimes before a sunrise paints the sky, the night feels impossibly dark. Have you ever had one of those moments where it feels like your entire world is unraveling at once? No matter how hard you try, one problem follows another, stacking up like waves crashing over you until you feel drained, lost, and dangerously close to giving up. Your relationships feel strained, opportunities vanish, and nothing seems to be going right. It's as if life is pushing you to the edge, daring you to break, testing how much more you can endure. But what if I told you this isn't the end? What if I told you this is the beginning of something powerful? This isn't failure. It's not the universe working against you. It's the intense, painful, but necessary process of transformation. Think of it like this. Before a seed breaks the surface of the soil, it first has to crack open to endure darkness, pressure, and silence. Before a butterfly can fly, the caterpillar must dissolve into nothing inside the cocoon. And before dawn arrives, we always pass through the darkest hour of night. So if it feels like everything is breaking, it's not random, it's a sign. These struggles aren't here to destroy you. These struggles aren't here to just shape you, to strip away the weaker, unprepared version of yourself so you can rise as someone ready for what comes next. And yes, growth hurts because it demands you let go of old habits, limiting beliefs, and sometimes people you once thought you couldn't live without. You might feel betrayed, abandoned, defeated, but here's the deeper truth. You're not being punished, you're being redirected. Most people quit here. They mistake the storm for the finish line. They don't see the pain as proof of progress. They don't realize this chaos is the final test before elevation. But you're not most people. So if life feels like it's falling apart right now, I need you to hear this. Don't stop. You are closer than you've ever been. This storm, it's not the signal to give up. It's the push to go harder than ever before. And when the dust settles, you'll look back and understand everything had to collapse so something greater could rise in its place. And just when the chaos feels overwhelming, another shift begins. Let's talk about the next sign that your breakthrough is near. 2. You're losing people who don't support you. There comes a strange silence right before a powerful transformation. You begin to notice something unsettling. People you once held close start to drift away. Friends stop calling. Family members who once cheered you on now seem indifferent. Or worse, they subtly try to tear you down. And in the quiet of it all, you find yourself walking this road alone, confused, hurt, and questioning everything. Did I do something wrong? Why is everyone leaving? Why does this journey suddenly feel so lonely? But here's a truth that most people never see clearly. This is not a coincidence. It's a necessary part of your evolution. When you start to grow, when you level up, set bigger goals, and choose self-discipline over distraction, not everyone around you can handle it. Some people only loved the version of you who struggled like them, who complained like them, who stayed comfortably stuck like them. But the moment you begin to rise, to break free from patterns that once kept you small, you become a mirror, a reflection of everything they're not doing with their lives. And that kind of reflection can be terrifying. Your growth doesn't offend them because of who you are. It offends them because of who they're not ready to become. So instead of rising with you, most will choose the easier path, to pull away or pull you back down. But don't mistake this for betrayal. It's not punishment, it's alignment. The universe, or life itself, or whatever guiding force you trust, is clearing space for what's next. It's making room for people who actually belong in the next chapter of your life. Some connections were never meant to last forever. They were only meant to teach, to prepare, to reveal who you're becoming. And here's the hard truth. The more you grow, the more people you will lose. But don't mourn that loss. Embrace it as an upgrade. Because for every person who exits your story, a more aligned, more supportive soul is waiting to enter. These are the people who match your ambition, who celebrate your evolution, who aren't threatened by your success, but deeply inspired by it. So if people are walking away, don't chase, don't beg. Instead, ask yourself, what is my next level? Who am I becoming? Because the ones who truly belong in your future won't need convincing. They'll just fit, naturally, effortlessly, authentically. Let go and trust. The right ones will always find you. And as people leave your life, something else shows up, a powerful wave of self-doubt. Let's talk about why that's not a weakness, but a sign of what's coming next. 3. You're experiencing intense self-doubt. There's a moment, right before a major leap forward, where everything inside you trembles. Not because you're weak, but because something greater is trying to emerge. Have you ever taken a step forward, only to hear that quiet voice whisper, "What if I fail? What if I'm not ready? What if I'm just pretending and everyone finds out?" That voice, that crushing weight of self-doubt, it doesn't just whisper. Sometimes it screams. It paralyzes you. It fills your chest with hesitation and your mind with fog. You start to question everything, every move, every decision. And part of you wants to turn back, to return to what feels familiar, even if that means staying small. But here's the part no one ever tells you. This isn't a sign that you're failing. It's actually a sign that you're about to win. You see, self-doubt doesn't show up when you're standing still. It doesn't exist when you're playing it safe. Living in your comfort zone, avoiding growth, avoiding risk, it only comes alive when you're on the edge of something bigger, when you're about to break through. Why? Because your mind is trying to protect the identity it has known for years. The version of you that settled, that accepted limits, that stayed comfortable, quiet, and unseen. But now, you're stepping into a new reality, one where you are stronger, bolder, wiser, more capable than ever before. And that shift terrifies your old self, so it fights back, not with fists, but with doubts. You're not ready. You'll embarrass yourself. You're not good enough. But let's be clear, these aren't facts. These are the dying breaths of the identity you're leaving behind. And sadly, most people believe them. They turn back, they shrink, and they never realize they were only one decision away from something extraordinary. But not you. If you're feeling overwhelmed by self-doubt right now, don't let it convince you to stop. See it for what it is, a signal, a marker, a sacred sign that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. The discomfort isn't punishment, it's transformation. It's your old self breaking apart so your new self can rise. Remember, greatness doesn't wait on the other side of confidence. It lives just beyond your doubt, on the other side of fear. So ask yourself, will you listen to the voice of fear, or will you rise and prove it wrong, one courageous step at a time? And as self-doubt rises, something else begins to stir within you, an urge to withdraw from the noise. Let's explore why isolation might be the next clue that your breakthrough is coming. 4. You feel an urge to isolate yourself. There's a quiet pull that comes right before you grow into someone new. It begins subtly, a shift in what captures your attention, a fading interest in things that once lit you up. And suddenly, you start withdrawing, not because you're broken, but because something inside you is beginning to awaken. Have you felt it? That urge to step back from people, from noise, from conversations that used to excite you but now feel hollow. Lifeless, draining. The social scenes that once energized you now leave you tired. You crave silence. You long for solitude. But you can't quite explain why. Here's the truth most never realize. This isn't loneliness. It's transformation in motion. When you are about to step into a higher version of yourself, your subconscious knows before you do. It begins preparing you, quietly removing distractions, pulling you away from habits, environments, and people who no longer align with who you're becoming. Even if you don't fully understand it, your soul senses it. A powerful shift just over the horizon. And to reach it, you need stillness. You need space to evolve. Think about it. Before a snake sheds its skin, it retreats into stillness. Before a great storm reshapes the land, there is a haunting calm. Before a masterpiece is born, the artist disappears, lost in focused creation. You, right now, are in that phase. Your energy is shifting. You're being pulled away from the world, not to escape it, but to refine yourself for what's coming next. This is not weakness. This is not confusion. This is ascension. But here's the difficult part. Most people around you won't understand. They'll say you're distant. They'll tell you you've changed. They may try to pull you back into old patterns, into noise, comfort, and distraction. And this is where most people turn back. They abandon the discomfort of solitude for the ease of belonging. They silence the whisper of growth just to stay liked and accepted. But not you. Not this time. This urge to isolate, to be alone, to reflect, to plan, to protect your peace isn't a problem, it's a gift. Use it. Embrace the quiet. Sharpen your vision. Rebuild your strength. Because what's ahead requires your full attention and absolute presence. And the ones who truly belong in your life, they'll understand. They'll respect your need to step back so you can return as someone transformed. And once you've found peace and solitude, you'll start to notice something else. Unexpected patterns, signs, and synchronicities showing up all around you. 5. You're seeing more synchronicities and signs. Have you ever felt like the universe was trying to whisper something to you? Like there was a message hidden in the ordinary moments of your day, subtle, quiet, yet impossible to ignore? You glance at the clock, and it reads 11:11. Then again, 2:22. And again, 3:33. A pattern, a nudge, or maybe you're thinking deeply about something important, and out of nowhere, a stranger casually mentions that exact topic in conversation. Perhaps you've been stuck, waiting for a breakthrough, and suddenly the right person, the right opportunity, or the right words appear at just the right time. It may feel random, but here's the truth. It's not. These are not coincidences. These are signals, messages from life itself, telling you that you are moving in the right direction. The closer you get to a breakthrough, the louder the signs become. Why? Because your energy is shifting. You're aligning with a higher version of yourself. And when that alignment begins, the world around you responds. These aren't just cute moments or feel-good symbols. They're calls to awareness, wake-up alarms from the universe, urging you to pay attention, to look deeper, to trust what you feel. Think about it. Before every great transformation in history, there were signs, omens, symbols, and messages hidden in plain sight. But most people miss them. They brush them off. They call them coincidence. And in doing so, they miss their moment. But those who recognize the patterns, who listen closely, who stay awake to the quiet whispers of change, those are the ones who move forward while everyone else stays stuck. So if you've been seeing numbers repeat, if you notice synchronicities stacking up, don't ignore them. Don't tell yourself it's nothing, because these signs mean your reality is shifting. You are approaching a turning point, a moment that could change everything. And here's something even deeper. The more you acknowledge these signs, the more they appear. Why? Because awareness expands intuition. And when your intuition sharpens, you stop seeing life as random and start seeing it as intentionally designed to guide you toward your highest potential. So the next time you see a sign, don't just smile and move on. Ask yourself, what is this trying to tell me? What am I being guided toward? What am I being prepared for? Because the truth is, your breakthrough isn't just on its way, it's already unfolding right in front of you. All you have to do is open your eyes and step into it. And once you start seeing signs, you may begin to feel something deeper, an unexplained tiredness or restless energy that won't let you settle. Let's explore why that too is a sign you're closer than you think. 6. You're feeling unusually tired or restless. Sometimes, right before a breakthrough, your body knows it before your mind does. You wake up tired, even after a full night's sleep. You feel drained, even though you haven't done anything physically demanding. Or maybe the opposite happens. You feel restless. Your thoughts race. You toss and turn at night with the unshakable sense that something big is on the horizon, but you can't quite name it. Sound familiar? Let me tell you something most people never realize. This isn't random. It's not just burnout or laziness or lack of discipline. This is your inner system preparing for transformation. You see, real change, deep, lasting transformation doesn't start with your actions. It begins in your mind, in your subconscious. Long before your reality shifts, your inner world starts rearranging itself for the new level you're stepping into. Old beliefs are being challenged. Outdated patterns are being broken down, and a new mental framework is being written quietly behind the scenes. It's like a massive software update running silently in the background of your life. On the surface, everything seems normal, but under the hood, your system is being completely rewritten, and that takes energy. This is why you feel drained, why your motivation flickers, why your focus comes and goes. It's not failure. It's a natural side effect of deep internal reprogramming. Your old self is being dismantled, and your new self, the one built for the next stage of your life, is under construction. But here's what most people don't understand. This exhaustion is not permanent. It's a passing phase. And the more you embrace it instead of resisting it, the faster it passes. Then, without warning, something shifts. You wake up one morning and the heaviness is gone. You feel energized, clear, focused, unstoppable. The fatigue that held you down gets replaced by momentum. And in that moment, you realize something powerful. Everything you've been waiting for is already in motion. So if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling off, don't panic. Don't quit. Rest when you need to. Honor the process, but don't give up. Because this isn't weakness, it's not burnout, it's preparation. And it means your greatest transformation is closer than you think. And once the fatigue lifts, something else takes its place: clarity. The fog clears and you suddenly know exactly what you want. Let's explore why that moment of clarity is never an accident. 7. You suddenly gain clarity on what you want. Clarity doesn't always come with a loud announcement. Sometimes it arrives like the morning sun, slowly rising after a long, uncertain night. A quiet knowing, a shift deep within. You've spent what feels like forever feeling uncertain, confused, disconnected. You questioned everything: your path, your purpose, your next step. Nothing felt solid. One day you thought you wanted one thing. The next, it was something entirely different. And that back and forth, that mental noise, wasn't just frustrating. It was exhausting. It made you feel stuck, as though your mind was running in circles, dragging your heart behind it. But then, seemingly out of nowhere, something shifted. You woke up one day and the fog was gone. You didn't just have a new idea. You had clarity. You knew what you wanted, not just in your head, but deep in your bones. Your soul whispered, "This is it." That confusion that haunted you for months, maybe even years, it vanished. And let me tell you something powerful. That moment of clarity wasn't random. It wasn't luck. It was a sign, a sacred signal that you are finally ready. When something major is about to happen in your life, your inner world knows before the outer one catches up. That confusion you went through, it was part of the preparation. It helped you ask the hard questions. It forced you to release the people, plans, and beliefs that were never meant to stay. It cleared the space so that something greater could arrive. And now you're aligned. You don't just see the next step, you feel it. You're no longer chasing clarity, you own it. And here's the most profound part. Once you've found this clarity, you can't unsee it. The distractions that once had power over you, they lose their grip. The doubts that used to paralyze you, they fade. You stop hoping that something will change. You start knowing that it's already beginning. But here's where many people stumble. They get scared. They second guess what they've just realized. They shrink back, convince themselves it's too risky, too big, too different from the identity they once lived in. And just like that, they fall back into old patterns. But not you, not this time. This clarity is not just a gift, it's a call, a powerful invitation to step forward. Your inner self is telling you, you are ready. Now all that's left is for you to answer. And when you do, when you start moving with intention, something magical begins. Tiny victories, unexpected moments, and small wins begin to show up, one after another. Let's talk about why those little signs may be the final confirmation you're almost there. 8. Small wins start piling up. Progress doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers soft and subtle, like a breeze gently shifting the air before a storm changes everything. At first, it feels like nothing is happening. You've been showing up, working hard, struggling through setbacks, pushing forward day after day, yet the breakthrough you're waiting for still feels so far away. And naturally, the doubt creeps in. Is this really worth it? Am I wasting my time? Will things ever change? But then, something strange begins to happen. Almost without warning, small victories start to appear. Maybe you receive a kind message from someone who sees your effort and it gives you a little spark. Maybe a random opportunity lands in your lap at just the right time. Or maybe you get a piece of good news, not earth-shattering, but undeniably hopeful, encouraging, a clear step forward. At first, you might not even realize it. You may brush it off as coincidence, as something minor. But I need you to hear this clearly. There are no coincidences. These small wins, these tiny nudges forward, are not random. They're signals, whispers from the universe, from life itself, telling you you're getting closer. The truth is, the universe rarely gives you everything all at once. It tests your readiness. It checks your awareness. It offers small moments of progress, not to tease you, but to prepare you. To see if you're paying attention, to see if you'll notice that something is shifting underneath the surface. But here's the part most people miss. They overlook these small wins. They're so focused on the big, dramatic breakthrough that they miss the path leading right up to it. They ignore the tiny confirmations, the quiet momentum, the little miracles. And because they don't acknowledge them, they lose momentum. And the energy fades. But not those who see the signs. Not those who celebrate the small wins, because when you recognize them, something powerful happens. The momentum builds. The right people start showing up. The right opportunities align, and before you know it, the breakthrough you've been waiting for is already here. So if you've been seeing small victories lately, don't dismiss them. Don't downplay them. Don't call them lucky. They're not luck. They're not random. They're proof that you are on the edge of something massive. Keep going. Keep trusting. You are closer than you think. And now that all 8 signs have revealed themselves, let's take a moment to reflect on what they really mean and how they might be preparing you for the greatest shift of your life. As we conclude this journey, pause for just a moment. Take a deep breath and reflect. Because if you've seen even one of these signs, if something in your life has felt like a shift, a whisper, a pull towards something unfamiliar but undeniable, then you are not imagining it. You are closer than you've ever been to something truly life-changing. This is the part of the journey where most people give up. They tell themselves nothing is working, that it's taking too long, that they're stuck. But the truth is, they're not stuck. They're standing at the very edge of their breakthrough. Don't make the mistake of turning back now, because the signs aren't here to tease you. They're here to prepare you, to guide you, to remind you that everything you've gone through has led you to this exact moment. So let's take a quick look back. You've learned that when everything falls apart, it's often because something greater is coming together. You've seen how losing certain people isn't a setback, it's a clearing. You've faced self-doubt, felt the urge to isolate, noticed strange synchronicities, and endured unexplainable exhaustion. You've gained clarity, started to feel aligned, and witnessed small wins stacking up like breadcrumbs leading to something bigger. All of this, every sign points to one truth. Your breakthrough is near. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 8 signs have been showing up in your life lately? Drop a comment below and share your experience. Your words might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to keep moving forward. And if this video spoke to something inside you, if it helped you feel seen, understood, or just a little more hopeful, then please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a message that might change the way you see yourself and your future. What's ahead of you is greater than what's behind you. And now, it's time to step forward and claim it.